Here everyone, Scott with the Scottman.
53 miles.
Here everyone, Scott with the Scottman. We're here to do a very long driving video today. We're heading north on I-295, going through the southern part of the state of Maine. And we're going to start off the video by going through a toll booth. That's something you don't see in a usual driving video of mine, especially because Michigan does not have toll roads, excluding the Mackinac Bridge. But it's because I'm getting off the Maine Turnpike, or I-95, which is tolled. Oh, either one's fine.
There's a speed trap ahead.
Alright, 1 second, please. So yeah, the toll was pretty cheap there, only $1. Person is not letting me over, so I have to get over kind of fast just to be able to get over. Alright, so now we're officially on I-295, and this is the main freeway which serves the city of Portland. Portland, Maine is, not Portland, Oregon. That's all the way on the other side of the United States, or on the, like, not the Pacific coast, but pretty close. But as a matter of fact, I was out in Portland 5 years ago, and I'm planning to go back tomorrow to do a new video. Because the video I did 5 years ago is not the greatest. Plus, I felt like it was rushed, because I only spent like a couple hours there. Where this time, I'm playing an entire day. But yeah, it is absolutely beautiful out today. It's partly cloudy, and temperature is around 76 degrees Fahrenheit, which is just shy of 25 degrees Celsius, so it is very nice out today. I think I just said that. Oh well. But I'm on my way up from Massachusetts up to Augusta. That's where I'm staying for 2 nights. And what's interesting is that to go to Augusta, although technically I-95 is the more direct route, 295 is shorter, which is very interesting. Usually the auxiliary freeway is not the shortcut. Although we do got a significant slowdown up ahead. Which I'm surprised my Google Maps didn't pick this one up, but it's hard to say. I'd rather have it be slow than stop and go. But yeah, off camera, I was driving on I-95 through New Hampshire, and it was very slow go. But I don't think I had to come to a complete stop once. I think I averaged like 20 miles an hour. So it's like, yeah, we went through the state of New Hampshire very slowly, but kind of like this. But on the plus side, it wasn't all that bad. Just a little slight delay. But we have, yeah, pretty much about 50 miles to go until we get back to I-95. But one nice thing about 295 is that this is completely free, where, of course, I-95 is the Maine Turnpike, which I-95 between just north of Kittery going all the way up to Augusta is a toll road. And then I-95 from Augusta all the way to the Canadian border with New Brunswick, that part is completely free. Okay, that's why there's a little bit of a slowdown. It's because there's some road work going on. But as you saw with the toll booth back there, it's like, yeah, they had 2 branches. The right branch is the one I took, and then there's a left branch. The right branch is basically if you want to pay with cash, and then the left fork is, or the left branch, that is the Easy Pass, which is basically the toll system where they give you like a transponder and it's all electronic, to where you can use it. It's basically many of of the eastern states along the East Coast, and I think it even stretches into parts of the Midwest as well, like into Ohio, Indiana, and Illinois. Because yeah, I think it goes as far west as Chicago. That's a pretty cool view off to the right, I have to say. All right, and we are now entering the city of Portland. According to my map, looks like it's going to pick up again, so that's good. I think just a lot of people are trying to go into Portland. A little fun fact, I was going to try to stay in Portland for the next 2 nights instead of Augusta, but for some reason, I don't know if there's a festival going on or it's just because it's a weekend getaway for people from Boston or even New York. But hotel rates are insanely expensive this weekend. I'm talking about $400 or $500 a night, even for like a 3-star hotel. Where, say, up in Augusta, I'm staying at a Fairfield Inn, which is by Marriott, and they're pretty good hotels. They're on the lower end, but they're still really good. I'm spending like I think a little over $200, so that's like significantly better. Plus, keep in mind, Augusta and Portland, they're only like an hour apart, so it's not all that bad. It's kind of like going from where I lived and driving to Frankenmuth, Michigan, which for anybody who's watching this from the state of Maine or New England, Frankenmuth is a very popular tourist town in Michigan that's north of Detroit, going up toward like north of Flint. It's like between Flint and Saginaw, which is Bavarian themed. We're got a lot of Bavarian like architecture, lots of great food, especially the world famous chicken dinners. And then you also have Broders, which is the world's largest Christmas store. And yeah, in through here you got all the main exits for the city of Portland. But yeah, can't wait to go in there tomorrow. What would be nice about going there on a Sunday is that parking, at least street parking, is absolutely free on Sundays. At least as of 2021. But yeah, look out to my right. I can see downtown Portland. It looks beautiful. But yeah, this weekend in particular, the weather's been amazing. Like earlier today, I was down in Massachusetts, and I went over to Gloucester and Rockport, which there are beautiful communities located right along the water. Highly recommend checking them out. Got to walk around Gloucester. It was absolutely beautiful. Like, just love the architecture there, and of course just the coast in general. And at the very beginning, I even got to go to the Eastern Point Lighthouse, which is kind of hidden. But like when you get there, it's just breathtaking. Is it more beautiful than the Portland Head Lighthouse in Cape Elizabeth? No, but it's still really cool though. And then went into Rockport. And yeah, it's really, especially on the weekends, it's really crowded. Good luck finding a parking spot in Rockport. But I did find one that was about half a mile from the main drag, and I was able to get an absolutely fresh and delicious lobster roll from the Roy Moore Lobster Company. It's one of those places where you order it looks like a shack, and you order in outside at the front counter. They have your lobster roll ready in like 1-2 minutes after you pay and place your order, and then they got an eating area out in the back, and you can enjoy a delicious lobster roll, which they freshly catch the lobster in Rockport. It's like you cannot go wrong with freshly caught lobster. But of course, I do have to have some type of a lobster roll here in Maine, because Maine is famous for their lobster. It wouldn't surprise me with me raving about the lobster roll I had in Rockport, Massachusetts, that anybody from the state of Maine has probably been rolling their eyes at me the past few minutes as I've been talking about it. But no, if you are, no worries. I will be having a lobster roll in the state of Maine. I kid you not. I'd say we're heading out of the Portland area now and heading out to the beautiful wilderness of the state of Maine. Maine is the largest state in New England, which New England consists of Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine, of course. And what's interesting is that back in history, Maine is the only, I take that back, well, Vermont and Maine were two states which were not part of the original 13 colonies. And for quite a while after the United States became a country, Maine was a part of Massachusetts. And eventually Maine became its own state. Not only that too, but Maine is the easternmost state in the United States. And especially as you go to the north and northeastern part of the state, it carves its way in through Canada. Because, yeah, northwest of Maine you have Quebec, and then, of course, go northeast of Maine you have New Brunswick. Which, unfortunately, I still can't drive over into Canada right now just because of the pandemic restrictions. But by the time this video goes up, unless something changes, supposedly, I think on August the 9th, yeah, which is the second Monday of August, Canada is finally opening up its borders to U.S. travelers who are fully vaccinated. So it's like they're finally starting to reopen things. And I think in September they're planning to open up international tourism for everybody else, for fully vaccinated travelers. So that basically means that 9 days from now, for when I'm recording this video, I can go cross over to New Brunswick if I want. Although the catch is, now you have to be fully vaccinated, but you also have to test negative too. I think within 72 hours, or I don't know. I'm not exactly sure of the full details. People in the right lane are going a little slow, so like under the speed limit, so let's get over the left lane. But yeah, I just love the scenery in here. But like once I get back home to Michigan in a week though, it's like I'd be able to plan a trip over to Ontario if I wanted to. And that's for driving across the border and also flying as well. Although to be honest, I'm not sure if I'm going to be crossing over to Canada this year or not. If I do, maybe like to Windsor, Ontario or something. I'm not entirely sure. I do have a friend who used to be a former coworker of mine who lives in Toronto. Be cool to meet up with him again or something. I think he and I talked about he and his wife and I meeting up in Windsor or something. But we'll play it by ear though. If not this year, definitely something for next year. especially after not being, well, minus the little trip I did to Boston Memorial Day weekend. It's my first time being anywhere in New England outside of Boston in 5 years. I wanted to come out here last year to do a road trip, but there were a lot of pandemic restrictions that were in place in New England, where I think some states even had a quarantine regardless if you tested negative or not. So it's like, because of that, it's like, yeah, it would not have made sense to road trip out here at this time last year. So that's pretty much why I went west last year. Because back in August, August 2020 is when I did the road trip out to North and South Dakota. And then in October, I went further west to Colorado, Utah, and Arizona. But with the fact that the vaccines rolled out early 2021, all the travel-related pandemic restrictions finally got lifted. Although it's more so New England, New York, New Jersey, and like Maryland, Pennsylvania. Sorry, I was just drinking some water. It's like after a while, it's like I always have to drink some water just to clear my throat or not clear my throat, maybe that a little bit, but because my throat does get dry after a while if I talk for a long period of time. But yeah, one thing is that, yeah, the state of Michigan never had travel restrictions, at least for people entering the state. Like, people could pretty much enter the state at any time without having a quarantine or anything like that. Like during the whole pandemic. Although there was the first 2 or 3 months of the pandemic where non-essential travel was pretty much frowned upon and highly discouraged, but like they weren't like prohibited or anything like that. Although there was the thing where you couldn't go from one house to another in the state of Michigan, though, but I don't think they enforce that in Michigan, just because it's not an actual law, but that's a whole different story. But yeah, I will say, yeah, the speed limit is a lot lower on 295 compared to I-95. And yeah, this lane is definitely going under the speed limit, and I absolutely cannot merge over because there is a lot of traffic in the left lane, so I'm pretty much stuck here. Alright, I think I can finally get over. I'm not even halfway through the New England road trip, and yeah, I'm definitely having a great time so far. But yeah, it's like I've only been away from home for about 3.5 days so far. So I left on Wednesday, stayed the first night I fished till New York. And then Thursday I spent the day and the night in Hartford, Connecticut. And then Friday, because I already talked about today. And then yesterday I drove from Hartford, Connecticut to Walpole, Massachusetts, which is just south of Boston. But I took a little day trip over to Newport, Rhode Island. It's a really cool city. It is very touristy, but touristy for a good reason. Because when it comes to touristy places, there can be touristy places that are highly visited by tourists, but are must-visits. And there are tourist destinations which are highly overrated. Newport, in my opinion, I'd say is heavily touristed, but for a good reason. Although if you want to beat the crowds, you may want to consider going in like shoulder season, let's say like like springtime or the fall. Or maybe even better during the week instead of like a weekend. It's about another 34 miles to go until we end this video. So yeah, this is going to be a longer than normal video because I didn't anticipate I-295 to be this long, but oh well. Yeah, coming up the next couple exits, got the city of Freeport. One thing I also want to do too here in the state of Maine as well is I want to check out some coastal towns in Maine that are basically between Portland and where Acadia National Park is located. So yeah, although the video is likely probably already up on YouTube, if not, it will be soon. But yeah, I'm planning to do a video a few different coastal towns. Because I'm going to do that on my way between Augusta and Bangor. But yeah, other things going on right now. It's like, normally, yeah, late July, early August, usually there's not a lot of sports-related activity going on right now. Like here in the United States, usually it's just baseball with the major leagues. But the Summer Olympics are actually going on right now. Normally they take place on the leap year. So it was supposed to take place last year, but because of the pandemic, it got postponed to this year. So it's still pretty cool that they were still able to carry on the Summer Olympics in Tokyo, Japan right now. Although because of the state of emergency, because of the pandemic there right now, there aren't really any spectators in the crowds there. But at least the events are still able to go on, which is good for the athletes. So I know a lot of them are looking forward to competing. Yeah, as I'm filming this video, like we're about halfway through the Olympics already, as they wrap up next weekend. So I'm able to watch a little bit of that in the hotel room each night. So I know the coverage on NBC, like in the evenings, they show a lot of wide range of events. I know lately they've showed a lot of swimming and gymnastics. I think they're even showing track and field last night too. Yeah, I gotta say, especially in swimming right now, it's like, yeah, Caleb Dressel for men's swimming and Katie Ledecky for women's swimming. Yeah, they're phenomenal swimmers. Like, they probably would outswim everybody in my entire family easily. Like, I still remember back in the days of Michael Phelps when he was swimming really, really well, earning a lot of gold medals. Now it's Caleb Dressel and Katie Ledecky's turn to earn a bunch of gold medals for the United States. It's like they have all these different range of events from, yeah, like a lot of the individual sports, from the swimming to gymnastics to fencing, judo, etc. And you guys also have team sports too, although none of them are team sports too, but other events too, like, because you do got like your soccer or football is what they call it in the rest of the world, like outside of North America, but we call it soccer here. It's like, men's men's soccer and women's soccer. Yeah, the U.S. team did not make the men's soccer team, if I'm not mistaken. The U.S. women's team did, on the other hand. And I know there's also the basketball. There's also basketball as well, and there's even golf. There's baseball. There's tennis, which unfortunately, because I'm a big Novak Djokovic fan, he ended up losing in the semifinals against Zverev. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He was a really good German tennis player. Because Djokovic was trying to be, I don't know, maybe the second person of all time, or at least the first person in a few decades to try to go for the Golden Slam, which is basically win all 4 of the Grand Slam tournaments of the Australian Open, French Open, Wimbledon, and the US Open, and also get a gold medal in the Olympics. And up to the Olympics, Djokovic ended up getting a gold medal, or not gold medal, but first place, or a gold trophy, in the Australian Open, the French Open, and Wimbledon. And of course the US Open's about a little over a month from now. Again, as I'm recording this video, it could be going on when this video goes up, or maybe it already has completed. So it's like, yeah, with the Olympics, yeah, unfortunately he's not able to get the Golden Slam, but he can still win all 4 of the Grand Slam tournaments for 2021. Although I know it's like, for the US Open, I'm sure Roger Federer and Rafa Nadal are probably looking to try to win that tournament as well. But yeah, there's always a next Olympics for Djokovic, though, because the next Summer Olympics will be in 3 years. Because normally it's every 4, but again, because the 2020 Olympics got postponed to this year, we only have a 3-year wait. And what's hilarious is that the Winter Olympics, which are being held in Beijing, China, it's only several months away. So it's like we're going to be wrapping up with the Summer Olympics and then going right to the Winter Olympics. But yeah, it's like when it comes to the Olympics, I've always enjoyed the Olympics. Just because it brings the entire world together what am I trying to say? It brings the entire world together for friendly competition. It's just, it's like I always have a hard time driving and thinking of things to say at the same time. So you gotta bear with me. I'll just say this, it just brings the world together, just because there was a lot of craziness in the world. Like, this is why, yeah, do not watch cable news, my friends, just because, especially here in the United States, I feel like 90% of the time you watch cable news, whether it's CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, etc., everything is basically negative. A lot of times it's all politics stuff. It's like, really, people? It's like, can't we just get along? And not that too, but it's like the highly negative stuff gets prioritized, which makes it feel like the world is an extremely dangerous and unfriendly place. It almost makes you feel like, why are we living here? But that's why you gotta turn off the cable news, my friends. That's kind of why I really enjoy watching YouTube videos, especially the travel videos, because like when it comes to international travel or going to international destinations, it's like it goes away from all the crazy stuff, because yeah, it's like if all you did was watch cable news and you saw basically stuff. Let's say you wanted to go to, I'm not going to name a particular country or anything, so because I don't want to label a country or anything like that. So let's say you want to go to a country A, for example, and there's two medium. Talking about country A. Let's say you decide to watch CNN or Fox News. Or if you're in Canada, watch CBC, or in the UK, watch BBC. And what they're going to promote about country A is protests or somebody getting shot or murdered, things like that, or basically stuff that makes you not want to go there at all. To where it's like, oh my goodness, like no, I think I'll stay home. Or if you watch a travel video, you'll find out that it's like sure, yeah, the stuff that's making cable news is happening, but at the same time, it's just that small little speck in country A, where the other 99% of country A is absolutely fantastic. But yeah, when traveling to a new country or a new city or even somewhere in the United States, I'm not saying don't watch the news, period. Well, I'd scratch that. Cable news, yeah, I wouldn't even bother watching cable news. But at least maybe get like local news, because a lot of times they'll show like headlines and things like that, like just to get like just quick headlines on what's going on in the world, and that's it. Like, don't watch like the cable news for all the crazy commentary and things like that. Or like, especially if you're traveling to a different country, yeah, it's like, definitely check like your country's like Department of State or Ministry of Tourism for like travel alerts. That's probably your best source. Just make sure you're not about to go into a war zone or anything like that. But at the same time, like don't let the travel warning scare you or anything like that. Sure, it's like, yeah, if you have the travel warnings out there saying, yeah, like the country's in an absolute war zone, yeah, you may not want to go. But like, there are some travel alerts out there that are like increased risk of kidnapping, or increased risk of terrorism, or increased risk of civil unrest. It's like, yeah, all you do, just check out different travel forums or travel videos just to see what's going on, to see, yeah, it's like be aware of your surroundings, but yeah, just be careful and just have a good time. Because yeah, one thing, if all I did was watch cable news, I would probably not leave my house, because I'd be so afraid of people, so afraid of even going down the street, because I feel like I'd probably get kidnapped or shot at or something just by going down the street. It's like, you gotta live, people. You only have one life. So yeah, if you're watching this video and on your TV you have CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, any of the cable news, left wing, right wing, intermediate, etc., do me a favor and turn that off, please. You will have a much more positive outlook on life, my friends. Alright, so you have another 17 miles to go until we get to, or get back to I-95, because keep in mind, we started this video at I-95. Oh yeah, as I mentioned I didn't mention this, but a few miles back, the speed limit did increase up to 70 miles an hour, so we could legally go faster. Scenery we're seeing in here, with heavily forested and wooded, it's like it definitely gives me some feels of northern Michigan, as well as northern Minnesota, northern Wisconsin. But yeah, just gotta love it. Yeah, Maine does have mountains too, although you can't see them from here or anything. But yeah, if you go even further north or even west into the state, yeah, that's when you get out into the mountains. Now I should probably get back over. There's somebody who wants to go even faster than me right now, so we'll let this person pass. Yeah, only 21 miles to Augusta, so not too much further to go overall. But speaking of international travel, yeah, I'm still trying to decide where I want to go in October, because as I mentioned in my previous driving videos, my South African trip got canceled due to civil unrest. And then, so yeah, that's like an example where you may want to reconsider travels, because there's a lot of craziness with civil unrest going on that's pretty widespread. However, it's like, again, it's kind of complicated, because Cape Town, as of right now, I haven't really heard much about Cape Town, where I think they've been spared of the unrest. Where like Johannesburg and especially Durban have been really badly hit. Almost kind of like the unrest we had here in the United States last year, like in June 2020, but nothing compared to what's going on in South Africa right now. Because yeah, during the unrest we had here last year was not as bad as what's going on in South Africa right now, but there were still some cities that you pretty much wanted to avoid going to. Although I will say that, yeah, the city of Detroit, or Detroit, which is where I'm from, Detroit was spared a lot of the unrest last year, which is really, really great. The protests that were held there last year was pretty much all peaceful, which is absolutely wonderful. Because when it comes to the peaceful protest, it's a way to express your feelings and your thoughts. It's a way of free speech. Yeah, when you do things peacefully, it's like I fully support that. It's like when it becomes violent or turns into riots, yeah, that's where I don't care what you're preaching, what side you're on. Yeah, once violence gets involved, I don't support that. Like, violence is never the answer. I don't care what the reason is. But that's all I'll say about that, just because let's keep this positive, shall we? But yeah, going back to the Olympics though, it's like, yeah, really looking forward to see the end result of the Olympics, and then of course get ready for the Winter Olympics. But before the Winter Olympics, we got, at least here in the United States, you got football starting up, you got eventually a new season of basketball and hockey. Although those probably won't start till like more into the fall. Because yeah, football starts next month. We got the preseason for the NFL, and then of course the NFL season starts in September. And then there's also college football as well, which starts, I think, the very end of August and then going to the beginning of September. And unless something absolutely crazy happens, yeah, things should be going on normally this year, where you got people in the stands this time, and people playing, or the different universities and colleges playing their normally scheduled games. Because last year was, schools pretty much played like shorter seasons and schedules. Okay, we got somebody going really slow, like, yeah, at least 15 under the speed limit. Almost could have gone over there, but I probably would have cut off that truck that just passed me, so I didn't think that was a good idea. But we'll do so right here. Checking my hotel pretty soon in Augusta, and then I'll probably get some dinner off camera. It's like I'm not filming 100% my trip, just because when it comes to filming your travels and things like that, it's like you don't want to be filming every living moment, to where it's like, good morning everyone, this is Scott or the Scott Man, and I'm here in my hotel room waking up and I'm getting ready to start the day. It's like when it comes to travel, it's like, yeah, I really enjoy filming all these different travel videos and things like that, because it helps show you guys that there are some really cool places in the world. And plus, I can watch these back and remember some of the great times I had when I visited a particular destination. But at the same time, there's those moments too where you just gotta turn off the camera and you just gotta be in the moment. Alright, so we probably got about another 6 minutes or so left in this video. Because yeah, we got about another 7 miles to go until we're back to I-95, and I think I do have to pay one more toll once I get on I-95. I don't know if it's going to be before I get on I-95 or it's going to be off camera and after I get on the 95. But we'll wait and see though. Just gotta love the scenery here, though. Huh, interesting. So that sign there was saying Junction Interstate 95, 5 miles, yet my Google navigation was saying like 6.4 miles. I wonder who's gonna be correct. Maine Department of Transportation or Google? Let's make a poll. No, I can't, because it'd be kind of difficult to do that. Oh well. Still got another week left of the road trip. Gonna be exploring Maine for the next few days and then head west to New Hampshire. And unfortunately, I'm not gonna get a chance really to check out Vermont on this trip. I have been to Vermont though before, because I've been to Mount Montpelier into Burlington. But I can always make a trip over to Vermont in the future, especially if I want to go back up to like the northern parts of New York, like back in like the Adirondacks. Drink some more water, but I'm just about out of water. But yeah, I'll be drinking a lot of water once I get to the hotel, though. So coming up here is the exit for Highway 201. If you want to avoid paying any of the tolls on to get back on the Maine Turnpike, you could get off there and take a longer way into Augusta. But this is an I-295 video, so I gotta finish this. Okay, so it looks like I'll have to pay another toll on 295, and that's just to get back on the I-95. So it said 2 miles, so I think that's what the sign meant when it said Junction I95. That's probably to go all the way to the toll booth. And I saw the price is also $1. And thankfully I have exact change, which is awesome. Okay, looks like they have one more exit too if you don't want to pay the toll. But really, $1 is not a big deal. So what I'll probably be doing is, once they go through the toll booth, that's when I'm going to be slowly starting to do my outro to this video. The toll booth momentarily. It looks like they're doing some work at the toll booth up ahead too. Right now, or you might be able to, but like, oh, I think I see what they're probably doing. I think they're building like the toll gantries for people who have Easy Pass, so that way maybe not have to, you won't have to stop, or you just have to slow down like the 10 miles an hour and then go through the toll gantry for cashless tolling. And there's an Easy Pass lane over there too, but I don't have Easy Pass, so I gotta go through the cash lane. Thankfully, it's pretty light, so there won't be much of a delay at all. So I'll do this off camera. Yeah, nice and easy. And what was pretty interesting is that the guy who was working the toll booth, I could hear the song Volcano Girls by Veruca Salt being played. That's quite interesting, I have to say. Alright, so we have made it to the end of I-295, joining back with I-95. So I hope you enjoyed this long video on I-295, going from I-95 near Portland, going up to I-95 near Augusta. So if you enjoyed this video, be sure to click that subscribe button to come along and join me for the adventure. And don't forget to...
half a mile, merge onto I-95 North.
And don't forget to click that notification bell so that way you know when a new video goes live. Well, thanks for watching, and this is Scott, or the Scott Man, signing out.